What's up everybody and welcome to the Fight Franchise and our recap and review of the UFC main event of Macau where Petr Yan took on Dievidson Figueiredo in about years in the making, when Dievidson was flyweight champion and Petr Yan was bantamweight champion. We were all looking at this like an amazing fight we wanted to see, Petr Yan at the time was on that amazing win streak and looked like the destroyer of the division after beating Jose Aldo, and after Dievidson battered Joseph Benavidez to become champion. This was about that we all looked at like, yeah, we can't wait to see it in the future. We finally got the bout after Dievidson Figueiredo has moved up in weight to bantamweight, and they took on each other in a very skilled high-level MMA competition where Petr Yan was just too technical and a little too much for Dievidson Figueiredo to handle. Just going to kind of give my breakdown and kind of preview of the bout and then what I want to see next for both guys. So the bout took place and Dievidson Figueiredo straight away went for the takedown, and I was like, Dievidson could actually win this, like straight away, showed strength, showed physicality against Petr Yan and took him down and controlled him for quite a bit of time, but Petr Yan was defending well, grabbed the hands of Dievidson Figueiredo so he couldn't do much, but I think Figueiredo had the body triangle so he was trying to do work, and then eventually I think in a minute and a half, 2 minutes of control time from Figueiredo, Petr reversed the position and took control. And then from then on, Petr was doing a bit more damage than Figueiredo did when he had control. And then Petr did control for longer until Figueiredo managed to get up and they scrapped on the feet, where you most likely gave Petr Yan round one, even though Figueiredo did have control at the beginning. Round two, more action on the feet, where Petr Yan just showed a crisper striking game and a more varied striking game. It was the pat boxing against Figueiredo's, huge hooks and huge shots trying to look for the KO constantly, where Petr Yan is like setting you up with small shots to get the KO, that brilliant boxing and brilliant striking Yan has. And very competitive back and forth on the feet, but Yan is just doing the better work. When you look at the significant strikes for round two, it was 32-10 in significant strikes, and I believe at the end of round two, Petr Yan lands this beautiful trip on Dievidson Figueiredo, which I think he's landed on Sterling and Sean O'Malley before, that kind of brilliant trip that he has in his arsenal, and he just does the better work and the more crisper work in round two, and you'd go he was 2-0 up at that point. Round three, again, Petr Yan is doing brilliant work and he's, knees up the middle. He does this. There was this one point he went for the knockout way against Uriah Faber, where I think off the clinch, he throws that front kick and just misses. He's landing kicks to the body, but Figueiredo is slamming shots back, where he's landing huge kicks to the body and huge hooks to the body, and then but it's just he's not doing enough work to keep up with Petr Yan. It's those damaging small shots of Petr Yan which are just too much for Figueiredo to handle, and Yan was doing brilliantly, controlling the hand, controlling the range, controlling the space, and just overall brilliant mixed martial arts game. This is like the Petr Yan of old. Round four, dominant kind of round for Petr Yan, and 50 strikes to 14 in the significant, not even significant, I just think in just strikes, and he just outdoes kind of Figueiredo in that round. Figueiredo at the very end does rock Yan, who drops back onto his butt towards the cage and then gets back up quickly. And there was moments of takedowns throughout this fight where there was some fun scrambles and fun get-ups and quick get-ups for both guys. But Figueiredo, fair play to him, showed brilliant heart and threw some huge shots back, and but it just was never enough. And then round five, more of the same throughout the fight, and Petr Yan wins the unanimous decision in a fight years in the making, and we got the answer who would win this. Petr Yan would beat Dievidson Figueiredo as expected. I just think that Petr Yan has a more well-rounded game, and I think he's more acclimatized to the bantamweight situation. Dievidson Figueiredo, he's a strong and physical dude. It's akin to, like, let's say, for example, Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler is a strong and physical dude for lightweight. It's just that some of these lightweights' frames are just bigger, like Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira is 5'10" and skinny, but he's got that wiry strength, that lightweight strength, whereas Chandler's got that 5'6", stocky kind of strength. Figueiredo's the same at bantamweight, but sometimes these guys just have the technique with the strength and they can just outdo Figueiredo, which is unlucky for Dievidson Figueiredo because he was having an incredible year to that point. If you look at his time at bantamweight so far, he's had a great run. Like, let me just see. I know he beat Garbrandt and I think he beat Rob Font. I just want to check his record this year because credit where it's due, they had a really fun technical fight. Wasn't an all-out war, but for an MMA, fan, 100% it's a fun fight to watch just to kind of see both guys' skill sets. No, he beat Marlon Vera. So Deiveson Figueiredo this year beat Cody Garbrandt, beat Marlon Vera, but just comes up just short against Petr Yan. As for Petr Yan, I think he's got 2 wins this year. This Deiveson Figueiredo win, and then I think he beat Song Yadong at UFC 298. So very good year on after some poor luck in the previous years and some injuries as well. Let's kind of get up the bantamweight rankings and what I want to see for both guys going forward. Dvalishvili, Merab is champion. Sean O'Malley is ranked number 1. Umar Nurmagomedov is number 2. Petr Yan will remain at number 3. Sandhagen's number 4. Figueiredo's number 5. Cejudo is number 7. Marlon Vera's number 6. Song Yadong 8. Rob Font 9. Mario Batista 10. So Petr Yan, if he wanted to, can genuinely sit on the sidelines and wait for his title shot, because I think off the back of the 2 wins, Song Yadong and Deiveson Figueiredo, he's a title shot. That is if Merab loses to Umar Nurmagomedov, because Umar will want a fresh matchup, and I think Umar versus Petr Yan, if Umar wins versus Merab, Umar versus Petr Yan would be such a fun fight and such a wicked contest. That is a brilliant co-main event or a main event of a pay-per-view, especially with that Nurmagomedov name. I would say do it in Russia, but I don't think UFC is going to go to Russia anytime soon. The other option is, depending on the outcome of Merab versus Umar, if any of them sit on the sideline, you do the rematch of Petr Yan versus Sean O'Malley for a number 1 contender spot for the championship, because Petr Yan does have 2 wins. He's only beat Figueiredo and Song Yadong recently. Are those wins big enough to get you back in the title picture? 2 wins. It's just Petr's kind of lucky that there's no really clear-cut contender aside from Umar, who's getting his title shot next. As for Deiveson Figueiredo, tough loss. Who should he fight next? It's maybe Corey Sandhagen would be a good bout. It depends what happens on the outcome of the title fight as well. I think that would have an implication, but there's options for Deiveson Figueiredo. There's some good options, some good fights out there. He's an exciting fighter. He puts it on the line all the time and he puts on great performances. I don't think he'll fight Henry Cejudo because him and Henry have trained together and they seem like friends, so I don't think they would do that fight. But I think you've got Corey Sandhagen versus Deiveson Figueiredo, which could happen next. And then you do Sean O'Malley versus Petr Yan. That is if not, you put Petr Yan in the title picture after the Merab versus Umar fight happens. I'd love to see Petr Yan versus Umar Nurmagomedov. That's 2 amazing fight styles. And I think Petr Yan, I know he was controlled by Aljo and dominated by Aljo in that fight, but there was moments in that fight in the 3rd, 4th and 5th round where, Aljo wasn't finding the takedown as easy, and Petr has wicked and good takedown defense. He manages to get back up off his feet, and Petr Yan has never been finished, so he's hard to submit and he's hard to KO. And then when you go with the well-rounded mixed martial arts game of Umar Nurmagomedov, that could be a fight for the ages. I'd love to see that fight. So that's what I want to see for Petr Yan. Vintage Petr Yan performance. Is he back? Is this the Petr Yan of old? I feel like he'll want that Sean O'Malley win, and I feel like Sean O'Malley will call him out because I don't see anyone else in the division. Maybe Corey Sandhagen would be a good bout for Sean O'Malley. I don't want to see Sean O'Malley just getting an automatic rematch for the title. I think when you've been dominated 50-45 by Merab, you need to get 1 or 2 wins to get back in the title picture. You can't just, sit out and get a title shot. We're done with that Colby Covington era. This isn't it anymore. We need people active, people fighting for their spots and people fighting to get up. So credit to Petr Yan and Deiveson Figueiredo, put on a show. UFC Macau was a great event. There was some wicked and nasty finishes. You know, I think there was, let me just find out her name. I can't remember her name. She landed a vicious head kick, one of the KOs of the year, to be honest with you. Let me just find the lady's name. Was an amazing event. Good for UK fans to watch a fight card at 11 in the morning. But yeah, Ming Shi, I think it was, yeah, where she landed a brutal head kick to KO her opponent. It just was a brutal fight and a brutal finish to that fight. So yeah, great card. Credit to Petr Yan. Let me know what you guys thought of Petr's performance in the comments down below. Did you think it was a vintage Petr Yan performance? Do you think he deserves to get a title shot next, or should he fight Sean O'Malley in a #1 contenders bout? Let us know what you thought of the video in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for more MMA and fight content coming soon. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll catch you in the next one.